You are welcome back to Tuntum Network, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cyrus. I'm happy to have you here again. Please remember to subscribe and be a part of this podcast moving forward. Thank you to those who have already done that. I hope you had a nice weekend, because over the weekend, a lot of things happened, specifically in politics concerning NDC and MPP in Ghana. All right. 2 different political marches occurred on Saturday. One marching down, one marching up the mountain. Those marching up the mountain were for a totally different person in the NDC party, and the other was marching down to Medina for the NPP party. Okay, so we had the showdown march for Kennedy Japan to Medina from Ayi Mensah, and then for Julius Debrah as becoming the running mate to John Mahama of the NDC from Ayi Mensah to Peduase Lodge on the mountain. It was so interesting. I have a few pictures here. I'll be showing it as I go forward with this. But this is Professor Jainana Opoku-Agyeman, who was the running mate to John Mahama in 2020 national elections. And I thought she did well, okay, looking at how many parliamentary seats they were able to win back for the party. But it looks as if this time around, moving forward, the party sort of wants to move away from her. I don't know, maybe I'm getting it all wrong. Maybe they'll bring her back. But if you look at how they were marching for Julius Debrah to become the running mate to John Mahama, it sort of gave me that impression. But you know, politics is about continuity. So let's assume John Mahama wins 2024 elections. He still only has one term, which is 4 years to serve, and then another person will have to take over from the NDC. So they have to look at continuity. Who can be there from 2024 to the next 12 years at least, 12 years completely. And so all that matters. And if Madam Jane is running, then you have to ask yourself, can she be available, strong and moving and marching in that spirit for the next 12 years? Or are you going to drop her and bring another person when John Mahama's first term is up? Now, let's look at the march for Julius Debrah. I don't know anything about this man. And honestly, I'll tell you this. If he was my uncle, all right, if he was from my family, certainly I would have campaigned for him to become the running mate to John Mahama. But at this point, I don't know him. I don't know his voice. I don't know his, debate strategy. I don't know his opinion on issues. I can't even make out his voice when he's speaking on TV or radio. But as an outsider looking in, I'm looking at the best options for the NDC moving forward. And I'm looking at 2 different gentlemen, which I strongly believe will help the NDC the more. And I'm just being myself, and I have nothing or no interest in this. I just watch what I see on TV and I make my assessments based on that, all right? So remember, this is just my opinion and the opinion of a few people that also follow me. You see, I believe strongly that the NDC need youth in the party. Moving forward, they need somebody who is young, active, and I don't see that in the woman, all right? Not even on TV. I don't even see their spirit of debating or arguing or whatever on TV to be able to give me that impression that they are the men or women for that job, okay? But on the internet, you know that Mr. Debrah is 57 years old and the former chief of staff of the former president, John Mahama. Outside of this, I don't know much about him. But these are the 2 names of NDC strongmen that I believe can make the biggest impact for the party as their running mate to John Mahama. The first person is Okujeto Ablakwa, and the second person is Sam George. And I'm going to give you reasons why the party should be looking and focusing on these 2 individuals. In the first place, these 2 individuals are known by their voices. We know how they are able to defend whatever opinion they hold. And you need somebody like this when you are running against a party like the NPP. All right, look at Sam George, okay? In the first place, when he was giving his presentation on the LGBTQ issue, you could see how poised and knowledgeable the man was in the issues that he raised. And you look at Okujeto Ablakwa on his issue with the National Cathedral and the prophet's name and all that. The man stood for something and was able to take it all the way to the end. And I'm the kind of person who likes people who have opinions. Okay, Mr. Debrah may be a fantastic man in his own right. Madam Jane may be a fantastic woman. She's a professor, so she knows a lot. But in public space, you don't know what they actually stand for, what they argue, what their debate style is, what their temperament in debate is. We don't know all that. But these two gentlemen that I'm talking about, when they talk, we can hear, we can sit and listen to them for a while because they've been consistent with what they say. So I like people who have ideas and I like people who have opinions. Even if your opinion is wrong, at least you are able to say something than to not say anything. And so I strongly believe that the NDC needs someone who can go toe-to-toe with the MPP at all times. And the day Sam George overtook E.T. Mensah in Ningo Pram Pram, I realized that man was the real deal. Because remember, E.T. Mensah is a founding father of the NDC. Such people, you don't overtake them. You actually have to remove them because they are pillars of the party. And this guy was able to overtake him. You will need more than a good strategy to overtake these kind of people in your political party. You will need a good reason for not your own strategy to backfire and blow in your own face. Especially when you are so young at the time, like Sam George was. And yet he was able to overtake the man and now become an MP for that area. So my prediction for the MPP's 4th of November elections is that I strongly believe that it is most likely Kennedy Agyapong is going to emerge as the flag bearer of the NPP party. Now, if this prediction should occur, this will be the hardest fight ever for the NDC party to overcome. Because Kennedy Agyapong is a bulldozer. I'm serious. I'm not talking literal bulldozer, but his spirit is of a bulldozer. He's pragmatic and a kind of in-your-face leader. He's not a kind of person that you match with somebody who is unknown, quiet, timid, or intimidated. No. When a bulldozer is coming against you, you don't go against it with a bicycle or a small vehicle. You go against it with another bulldozer. And if you look at John Mahama, he's the kind of, professional, politically correct, level-headed and all that. He has a lot of good sides. But if you are pairing him with Julius Debrah or Madam Jane, they are almost of the same cloth. But on the other hand, Kennedy Agyapong is a bulldozer that is raging and coming. So at least you need somebody like a bull in your corner. And that's why I'm thinking that Sam George or Kujatu Ablakwa could be that bull for the NDC's corner. I don't know, maybe I'm delusional. Think about that. If you recall, the reasons why the NDC lost the elections in 2016, two main issues were most common, all right? The first was the Doomsaw issue, and the second one was the alleged overwhelming corruption tag that was put on the NDC party. It became totally impossible for them to rid themselves of that corruption tag. And you will see how, at the time, Dr. Bawumia, who was of the MPP, was always engaging and talking and voicing and saying his opinion on the economy and questioning the vice president of Ghana, Emi Sata, may his soul rest in peace. And all that went on at the time. You could remember Bawumia was attacking all the time. And I feel the same thing is also true for now. The NDC needs somebody who can also attack. Because whatever the case is, MPP guy is coming with a lot of fire. For those reasons, it's not only about how long somebody may have been loyal or served the party. No, that is not going to be the only reasons why you consider such a person as the running mate to a flag bearer. I think it should be about what the person is able to bring to the table in support of the flag bearer. How the person is able to attract new voters to the party. And I see Sam George and Okudzeto Ablakwa as being able to do those things. But for the woman and Mr. Julius Debrah, I am not sure. I'm not saying they are incapable, but I'm not sure. All that I've said may totally not be correct. Should Dr. Bawumia emerge as the flag bearer of the MPP? In that case, everything that I've said may not necessarily be the case. But should that not be the case and Ken becomes the flag bearer of the NPP, trust me, these things are about to unfold. And I strongly believe Sam George and Okudzeto Ablakwa can match him boot for boot in every aspect of politics. And finally, these are two reasons why I believe one of these two guys is most suitable for the running mate position. Number one is the kind of competition they have already overcome within and outside of the party to be where they are now. Okay? And the second thing is the kind of opposition or competition awaiting the NDC. Those two reasons are good reasons enough to consider in bringing one of these guys as the running mate to John Mahama moving forward. A lot of things are going to unfold. And I strongly believe the NDC have strapped their boots for this battle because it's not going to be easy for them at all. If anything at all, they should be prepared and not be underprepared. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Remember to subscribe and share and help us grow and hit the 1,000 subscription by the end of this month. Thank you. God bless you. I'll come your way again. And it's bye-bye for now.